what would they say about you? Would they call you their best friend? Or the walking mystery who never listens? Here's the twist. Your cat already knows exactly what kind of human you are. They've been quietly observing and judging since day one. Some of what they'd say might melt your heart, but there's one thing they've been trying to tell you. Point 8. You're the one who doesn't listen. Ever notice how your cat will meow at you, walk away, then look back like you're supposed to follow? That wasn't random. That was the conversation. But here's the problem. Most humans never learn the language. They talk at their cat, not with them. You ignore the tail flick. You miss the slow blink. You think silence means I'm fine, when it often means I'm watching your every move. To your cat, this makes you the frustrating roommate who never listens, even when they're screaming in fluent feline. And if they could sum it up in one sentence, it would probably be, "You love me, but you don't really hear me." But here's the part most owners never realize. Cats don't give up. They adapt. They stop trying to communicate and start trying to predict. They study your patterns, your moods, your routines, and eventually, they figure out how to live around you, not with you. But there's one thing they learn about you early on, and it becomes the filter through which they judge everything you do next. We'll get to that later. Point 7. You always try to control me. Have you ever stopped to notice how many decisions you make for your cat every day? You pick them up when they're not in the mood. You force them to cuddle. You redirect them from surfaces without giving alternatives. You even close off rooms like they don't deserve access to their own home. And sure, you might mean well, but to a cat, it doesn't feel like love. It feels like domination. Cats aren't dogs. They don't respond to control. They respond to autonomy, respect, and choice. And if your cat could describe you in a moment like that, it would probably be something like, you always want things your way. When cats feel their independence being taken away, they don't lash out. They retreat, they stop trusting, and they may even become passive-aggressive, avoiding touch, ignoring your voice, or hiding more often. Control creates distance. Respect creates connection. Point 6. You're clueless about my boundaries. Do you know where your cat's boundaries actually are? Most owners don't. They think just because a cat purrs, it means keep going. They assume rubbing the belly is a compliment. They miss the tail twitch, the ear flick, or that 1-second pause that says, I'm done. Cats don't shout when they're uncomfortable, they whisper. And if you're not tuned in, you cross lines without even realizing it. And if your cat could put it into words, it might be something like, you touch me more for you than for me. Ignoring those cues doesn't just make them pull away in the moment. It teaches them that their signals don't matter. And once they believe that, they become less expressive, less trusting, and sometimes less affectionate. Point 5. You smell like safety. Have you ever wondered why your cat always finds their way back to your clothes, your bed, or that one chair you always sit in? It's not random. It's not just warmth. It's scent, and it's emotional. Cats have over 200 million scent receptors, and the smell of you is one of the few things in their world that feels stable, familiar, and safe. Even when they're distant, even when they act aloof, they'll find something that smells like you. And if your cat could describe you in those moments, it might simply be, you smell like home. That's why they need your blanket, curl into your laundry, or nap in your spot the moment you leave. Point 4. You're my favorite warm spot. Why do cats always choose your lap, right when you need to get up? Why your chest when you lie down, or your laptop when you're working? It's not just about physical warmth, it's about emotional warmth. Cats choose where they feel safest, where their nervous system can fully relax, where they don't have to be on guard for even a second. And if your cat could describe that choice, It might be, when I sleep on you, it means I trust you with everything. Because sleep is when cats are most vulnerable, and they don't give that lightly. So when they choose your body as their resting place, they're not just staying warm. They're saying, right now, in this exact moment, you're my safest place in the world. 3. You're the giant with the magic food bag. Ever noticed how your cat always seems to know when it's time to eat, even if you've never said a word? They hear the bag, they recognize the rhythm of your footsteps. They even memorize the sound of the spoon against the can. But it's not just about food, it's about who gives it to them and how consistently. Feeding is a ritual, a sign of stability, and every meal becomes a quiet reminder that, in their world, you're the one who keeps things going. If your cat could say it, it would probably sound like, I don't know how you do it, but you always bring the food. And it's more than just survival. It's about routine, trust, a bond built bowl by bowl. 2. You're not my parent, you're my roommate. Do you ever get the feeling your cat thinks they run the house? That's not a mistake. That's how they see it. Cats don't view humans as authority figures, not in the way dogs do. They don't want to be raised, trained, or managed. They want to cohabitate on their terms. And the more you try to act like their parent, the more they lean into independence. If your cat could describe the relationship, it might go something like, you're not my owner. You're just the person I let live here. That doesn't mean they don't love you. It means they see the connection as a mutual agreement, not a hierarchy. Respect earns closeness. Consistency earns trust. But control? That just makes them look for the exit. 1. But there's one thing I've never told you. Throughout this whole relationship, your cat has been watching, studying, learning your rhythms, learning you, not just what you say, but how you move when you're sad, where you go when you're stressed, what your voice sounds like when you're pretending to be fine. And through it all, they've been quietly adjusting to your world. They've seen the good days, the bad moods, the rushed mornings, the late nights. They've learned how to stay close without being in the way, how to comfort you without making a scene, how to love you silently, because they know that's what you need. And if they could finally say the one thing they've been holding in since the beginning, it would be this. I know you don't always get it right, but I chose you anyway. Because cats don't love perfectly, they love privately.